What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm FanService Renji.
Shana Mostella.
Guess what month it is?
Spoopy month.
Yes, Shana's birthday month is finally over. That was fun, but that was so exhausting.
You just weren't ready to party with a real party animal, that's all.
I guess I ain't got it in me no more. A month-long birthday celebration, that's a lot of work. It was a lot of fun, though. I'm not going to complain about that part. We had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all haven't seen my vlogs on my regular channel, Shana and I went to the zoo. We turned up. We didn't turn up just because we're going to the zoo. It's not like, woo, lions, let's drink alcohol. No, it wasn't like that. The zoo had Wizarding Weekend. Since we've missed Universal Studios so much, we definitely had to go and take advantage of any Harry Potter kind of event that comes to town. So this one happened to be at the zoo, and we're like, we're there, dude. Make sure you check out Shauna's birthday vlogs on the FanService Renji channel. We got dressed up. We were Slytherins. I did a mashup between Tokyo Revengers and a Slytherin boy. It was a hot look, so make sure y'all check it out.
You did Draken Malfoy.
Draken Malfoy, ooh, blonde baddies. As Shana said, it's spoopy month. Halloween is here. For some reason, it is a lot of cosplayers' favorite time of year. But before we get into all that, let's start this week's podcast off with a fairly recent current event. It's actually pretty scary. I guess it fits the Halloween theme. A cosplayer, a TikToker, who's 22 years old that goes by the name of Yonder Freak, is being charged with manslaughter.
Oh, damn.
There was an incident that just recently happened a couple weeks ago, but the news just finally hit me the other day thanks to social media algorithms where you don't see anything till it's too late. Y'all may be wondering who Yonder Freak is. This cosplayer went by a different name on Instagram. She went by Snow the Salt Queen. You may remember her from the viral picture of a cosplayer sitting on someone's grave wearing this little skirt, booty cheeks just all on the grave. No chill in the comments. People were just trying to be like, yo, that's kind of disrespectful. It's one thing to take pictures in the cemetery, but don't be sitting on people's graves with your thong and booty all up on it. She had no chill being someone under 21 at the time, just lashing out saying, I don't give a damn whose grave I'm sitting on. When I die, I hope people have a party and piss on my grave and just all kinds of disrespectful shit. She's changed her social media handle since then. At the same time, her social media followers grew even more, to our surprise.
Phrase goes, even bad publicity is good publicity.
Yep, that's why sometimes when someone is really getting on your nerves or they're doing something, you may not want to help them go viral by sharing their story. Let dumb people be dumb. As we've said for years, stop making dumb people famous.
Right.
This is how we do it, by sharing their dumb moments. Yeah, we're mad about it, but then there's other people who are just like, ooh, she's cute, or ooh, I don't care either. Then you're adding to the dumb person army. Anyways, back to her manslaughter case. I read an article on heavy.com as well as the actual police report from this incident. So I'll try to get through it as quickly as possible without going line for line. Pretty much this cosplayer, this TikToker, was having like a little get together at their house. At her dad's house. Everyone was just drunk off their mind and smoking weed. For some reason, she had her ex-boyfriend's gun laying around in the house. They had been playing with it for hours, passing it around. Finally, at some point, the person who got shot and killed, I forgot to mention that, person says, ooh, shoot me. So this genius TikToker points the gun at their friend's face and shoots them, and the gun goes off and the person dies. Everyone freaks out, puts the gun away, and calls 911. Police come, they take the report. In the police report, this person literally did say we were all drunk and at some point we started smoking weed. And then the police report also goes into them saying, well, we're cosplayers and we really like this show Gotham, so we like to act like the characters. And we've just had this gun all night. And then the police, of course, ask, whose gun is this?
Right.
It's her ex-boyfriend's gun, but why did she still have it? Why did they pull it out? She said something along the lines of, her ex-boyfriend taught her how to unload the gun. So before he left, he took all the bullets out. So they figured the gun was empty. Again, they were passing this thing around for hours and nobody noticed that it was loaded at all.
Nobody checked it.
Yeah, that just raises a bunch of questions too. It's like, why are you passing around a real gun? Are y'all that bored? But then again, this happened in Texas. So even toddlers have guns in Texas. So maybe it wasn't a big deal for Texans to have a gun. I don't know. But according to this report, weed, alcohol, young ass kids, and guns don't mix, especially real guns. Of course, this girl got arrested, but her dad got money and she's out on $20,000 bond.
Damn.
From what I'm seeing on social media, her dad's like a politician.
Oh,
so
God.
they got money like that. That I read in the comments of social media research, so don't quote me on that. But either way, $20,000 bond means daddy got money, trying to keep his daughter out of jail. She's on curfew. She's got an ankle bracelet. She can't leave home between 8 p.m. and 7 a.m. And her bond might be revoked because her dumbass or her family's dumbasses can't keep her from violating her terms of release.
Oh my God.
You are already on trial for manslaughter. Sit your dumb ass down.
You got house arrest for killing somebody. You should feel lucky. Anything.
She's violating these release terms on the dumbest reasons. Forgot to charge the battery, so it went offline. Red flag. If it goes offline, y'all have seen Ant-Man 2? Police are right at your door. Oops, I forgot to make sure my battery is charged. Bitch, you got one job. Sit your dumb ass at home and make sure this thing is on. Violation number 2 was she was out past curfew doing something. I forgot what the other violation was now. I'm still just stuck on how dumb can you be. So they might revoke her bond and throw her ass in jail. As they should if you can't even do the simplest thing. Just hearing a cosplayer and their friends were playing with a gun because they want to be like Gotham.
It's so idiotic. Seriously, why would you play with a gun, first of all? Like, are you that dumb? I just don't, I can't even fathom why these people thought it was a good idea to just pass around a gun. And if this was another state, like, depending on their laws, the person who's registered to this gun would have been the one to get in trouble because that person should have that gun. They can't just leave it anywhere they want. You know, it has to be with the person that's registered.
Yeah. Why is the ex-boyfriend's gun still there?
Yeah. She could have got people in trouble that weren't even there. I've seen that happen before in different states where someone didn't realize that a gun was in a stolen car or like a car that they took unknowingly. Like, they didn't know there was a gun in the car. They get pulled over and guess what? That person goes to jail.
I've had friends and family go down for shit like that. Hell, my cousin did time in prison. What is the world coming to, TikTok generation, when weed and alcohol isn't good enough for you? Weed, alcohol, and friends. Like, y'all had everything you needed.
I know, right? You need a gun to help you complete your night.
Yeah. I don't know. Y'all out there in Texas, is this what y'all do? Weed, alcohol, and guns? Is that how you complete a night with friends? Like, somebody let me know. I haven't been to Texas, so I don't know how y'all get down out there. But damn, back in my day, if you were 21, just having alcohol was good. But y'all had weed, alcohol, and friends, and y'all were watching Gotham.
Not enough for people these days. It's not
Cosplay,
enough.
the cosplay friend standards have just gotten so high.
I guess so.
God, I remember just being with my con friends and just happy we had ramen noodles.
I was happy just reading manga for free at Borders. That's why it got shut down.
Damn.
Eating a box of Pocky.
Apparently, this TikTok generation needs weed, alcohol, guns, and more. But anyways, not to make light of the situation, these are why conventions don't allow real firearms or anything that even looks like it, because people are scared of these things. People could bring a real gun in, just like this person, and not even know that it's loaded. They could bring their daddy's gun, like, I'm just gonna use this as a prop, and there's real bullets in it. So that's why cons make these rules. Unfortunately, this happened in the comfort of her daddy's house. I hope that justice is served. A lot of people on social media are swaying in on both sides. Some people are like, well, it's an accident and she made a mistake. But then she just kind of gives you reasons to take away from that sympathy. Right after it happened, she continued to post on TikTok like nothing was wrong. Then on top of that, she was posting TikTok videos relating to death and killing. She chose characters and songs that were killing people and still posted those TikTok videos. And then, even after she had her ankle bracelet, she continued to post a video with her ankle bracelet covered up with, I believe, caution tape. Don't quote me on this. I just saw a picture and I read the caption. So allegedly, her ankle bracelet was covered by caution tape while she was still doing TikTok videos with a manslaughter trial pending.
In conclusion, she's just a dumb bitch then.
That's dumb bitch shit.
An accident and stepping on someone's foot. This is like, why? Why would you even think, you know what?
After 5 hours of passing this gun around, is it still an accident? Someone should have been like, this is a real gun. We need to put this away. All right. It's like, I grew up with a kid that we used to call Machine Gun Joe. This boy had enough arsenal to take down the local police department by himself. And he was like a 12-year-old boy. But at some point, when we went to his house for like sleepovers and stuff, if he started bringing out guns and live ammo, we'd be like, yo, put that shit away. I remember on his birthday, we unloaded every gun he had in his room.
Damn.
His parents are from Arkansas, so they allowed him to have loaded weapons because his dad's a hunter. He's a licensed hunter. He's trained and everything. Machine Gun Joe was also trained. But still, we didn't trust his ass. We unloaded his guns for everyone's safety.
That's good on you guys. And plus, it's like, just because his dad's a hunter doesn't mean you're hunting shit in the house.
Exactly.
Why?
Oh, yeah. We did that to make sure we didn't get killed that night.
Yeah.
Because he could have had a nightmare. We didn't know if he had a gun under his pillow. We searched his entire bedroom for his guns. It's like you want to feel bad for someone that it's an accident, but when they continue to do dumb shit like post TikTok videos revolving killing and murder, it's like, do you even feel bad about what happened? Or are you just writing it off like, oh, we were drunk?
People with daddies with money never feel bad about anything.
No.
Because they just got to go run to daddy and tell him all about it, and he'll fix it all with his money.
And that's what daddy's doing right now, so...
Oh, God.
I don't know when the trial is, but if someone finds out, let us know, because I would definitely love to keep up with this and follow up, because this is some wild shit.
She need to go to jail. She need to go to hell, too, after that.
I know. If she wants to be in Gotham so bad, send her ass to Arkham.
Send her ass to Chicago. Take her to Laura Wacker, see how tough she is then.
Yeah, just leave her in Chicago. But anyways, that's the current event in case y'all haven't heard about it. It's been pretty low-key. I'm surprised it hasn't gone more viral within the community. I've only seen maybe one person post about this, and it's blowing my mind.
They don't want to share it because that's just dumb bitch energy right there.
Man, that's a t-shirt right there. DBE, dumb bitch energy. God, we got to get these Shinobi Squad t-shirts going.
I know. We got all these ideas, but we don't ever put them to fruition, nothing.
All right, enough about dumb bitch energy. Let's talk about Halloween, because that's what we're all here for this month.
I forgot what we were even talking about today.
Right? Got so wrapped up in that, girl.
Got carried away for a minute.
Know, we got carried away.
We got swept away in dumb bitch energy.
Happens. You're a big Halloween head.
Oh, yeah.
What's so special about Halloween to you, Shana?
Man, everything, though. I love Halloween, mostly because of the aesthetics. I love dark, witchy, horror, scary kind of things. Like, I love all of that. Wrap that all up into one holiday, and you got yourself the best holiday ever.
Halloween for me, I've enjoyed it, but it's never been like, oh my God, I can't wait for Halloween. As a kid, I enjoyed dressing up. It was never something I went all out for. I didn't decorate my house. I didn't decorate my room with Halloween shit. Maybe because as a kid, my Halloweens were just very like mediocre. I also had like dumb costumes, so I never got to fully enjoy it. I either got to be ninja or bedsheet ghost. I was a Spider-Man with a cape one year. And a crash dummy. It's like
Oh, yeah, the crash dummy. That's so dumb.
So Halloween was never that exciting for me. So I'm always curious, especially amongst cosplayers, like, why do cosplayers love Halloween so much? As a cosplayer, that's dumbed down Halloween for me. We dress up all year round. Hell, we dress up outside of cons to do shoots. So there's never a time where we can't dress up. I get the people that may go to a con once a year who love Halloween and love that one con. But people like us, we dress up all the time and we go to cons all the time. But yet here you are, every time August rolls around, you're like, whoa, Halloween begins. Like,
for me, like as a kid, you know, I had a lot of fun trick-or-treating because I would dress up and I would get to go trick-or-treating and go door to door and get candy and things like that. To me, it was like the best time to grow up because nowadays you can't even do that as a kid. Like you are not even allowed to go trick-or-treating in some neighborhoods. Actually, most neighborhoods now. I just think it's sad that kids aren't allowed to do that anymore.
yeah, that's true. Like even before pandemic, my nieces and nephews had to trick or treat during a specific day that the city picked, and you could only trick or treat like between like 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Like you couldn't be out after dark.
You get with your friends, you see what they're wearing, they see what you're wearing. You go out as a group, you get candy. It might seem a little arrogant, but as an adult, I feel like Halloween's the one time as a cosplayer you get to show out because all these other normie people are out there wearing like Legs Avenue, like sexy cop and sexy nurse and whatever. And
sexy toaster oven.
And then I roll in wearing my Predator outfit or Alien or Falcon, just name anything I've ever cosplayed before, and everybody just stops and stares. I just love that feeling. Again, that might sound a little arrogant, but it's like, I know I'm the best dressed there because I do this year round, so it's kind of like not even fair for everybody else, but it makes me feel empowered in a way.
I love seeing those memes where it's just like when a normie complains they spent $100 on a Halloween costume, it's like evil laugh.
Right?
That shit makes me roll. Okay, I guess that makes sense too then. It's like as a cosplayer, it's your chance to like really show out.
Yeah, it's our time to shine, man. People bow down to us when we walk through the streets. They bow down to any cosplayer who like actually wears good costumes because it is better. It's better than Legs Avenue. It's better than anything that you'll ever find at Party City, you know?
But then 90% of the time, we always lose the Halloween contest to some sexy nurse or sexy angel.
I remember losing a contest to some girl that was dressed up as a schoolgirl, like a really, really slutty schoolgirl, and she was drunk off her ass, just falling down all over the stage. But of course, when she did that, like, you know, her boobs like kind of like move around and like you could see her underwear and things like that. So of course she won. It's like you're a mess up here.
Really skimpy schoolgirl outfit, drunk and falling off stage, lips showing between your legs. That's dumb bitch energy. At least you lost to a sexy naked girl. I lost to a Mario and Luigi. I told that story before, but we went to this nightclub. We went to this one nightclub, Youmacon weekend. That club had at least 50 other Mario and Luigi pairs. Somehow they won first place. My friend and I were Cloud Strife and Zach Fair from Final Fantasy VII. They didn't allow us to bring our swords in, but people still knew who we were.
Right.
Fortunately, it was an all-Asian club. And they were like, oh, shit, Final Fantasy. And then you look in the crowd and there's nothing but Mario and Luigi's.
It's me, Mario.
And it's also me, Mario. And it's also me, Mario. And it's also me, Mario. You just hear the echoing going throughout the club. And I would have been okay with it if the fan service Mario and Luigi won, because one of my friends who was there was like really buff at the time. So he was like a super sexy buff Mario and his friend was a super sexy buff Luigi. And they pretty much just had the hat, the mustache, a ripped shirt with their chest hanging out, and like booty shorts on. Like they was looking sexy. I didn't need a mushroom for a certain part of me to grow. But anyways, they didn't even place.
Oh, wow.
The regular ass Mario and Luigi got first. We got second, and some sexy girls got third. I forgot how much was the prize money that night, but it was a couple $100 to $1,000. But we did walk away with a couple 100 cans of Monster because the party was sponsored by Monster Energy Drink, and that's when my addiction to energy drinks began. Anyways.
Sugar!
I talked about that in detail in a previous podcast, but yeah.
You're the king of the rave that night.
Yep, I was the king of the rave. We had to take second place so the rest of the club wouldn't kick our asses. Apparently, that club had an interracial war amongst Asians. So this group of Asians didn't like this other group of Asians. And apparently, the party was thrown by a certain group of Asians that didn't like my type of Asian. So we weren't even supposed to be there that night. Anyways, long story short, the MC was like, if y'all won, y'all wouldn't have walked out of this club in one piece because these guys will kill you. So, a long story short, when you're out in Youmacon, don't hang out at hood clubs during the Halloween parties, even if it is all Asian and you are Asians, because not every flavor of rice is the same. Anyways, I could say that because I'm Asian.
But anyways, going back to what you asked, like, I guess for me, Halloween is a big deal because I just love everything horror movie related or scary. I love ghosts. I love demons. I love witches. I love crazy shit.
For a second, I thought you were like, I love horror movies. I'm like, I like horror movies too. But don't they call those porn?
Which one's your favorite?
We'll talk about that when the cameras aren't rolling. So the other thing about Halloween is the activities. I grew up in a small burb town in West Michigan where still to this day, Halloween is so lame. I just saw a listing for all the things happening this month, and they're still as lame as they were when I was a child. So for the downtown festivities, it includes hay rides. Ooh. So you're telling me I get to pay $20 to sit in a trailer full of hay with a bunch of other strangers for this tractor to pull me through downtown slow as shit.
Somebody else is screaming children.
Yes, with someone else is screaming children. It's just a hayride. It's not a haunted hayride. It's not anything. You're just sitting in a trailer towed by a tractor. Why would I pay $20 to sit in the back of a trailer on a pile of hay with a bunch of screaming kids when I can just drive down the street with my window open, having more fun? Seriously.
With a 40 ounce.
No, we don't drink and drive until we're stuck at the club and we got to go home.
I mean, in the back of the tractor.
I could pay one of my friends to drive me around, and I could sit in the back seat.
Throw hay out the window, dead grass.
I can go buy one of those old school red wagons and pay my friend the $20 to drag me around town in this wagon. And I can put some dead grass in there and call it hay and would have more fun than being on the back of a tractor for this hayride. So it's shit like that I've seen my entire life. I'm just like, ooh, this is Halloween? Have you ever been on a hayride?
I have. Actually, as recent as 5 years ago.
What?
I was visiting my dad in Michigan, of course.
I was going to say, you were with me 5 years ago. Like, when did you go on a hayride and I didn't know about it? Ooh, you out here skeezing with the scarecrow.
Oh, my God.
Who you going on hayrides with, Shana?
I was visiting my dad, and the family wanted to go on
That's
hayrides.
a lie. You don't like your dad.
I visited him once. I visited him once 5 years ago. That was the end of that. But anyways, it was exactly what you had just said. It was just some farmer who rented out his tractor or whatever with a bale of hay in the back of a trailer or whatever. And we just got in and was like, yay, woo, let's go. Can you go faster?
Does his hay come with drinks? Like,
no, but it was set up to where, like, it was at a corn maze. Like, there's a corn maze, and it was in the middle of a farm or whatever. And then they had it set up to where you could buy their local apple cider and their apple donuts and their apple whatever they had, like, fall-related shit. Yeah. It's just something for the kids to do because in Michigan, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but there's nothing to do in Michigan, like, at all whatsoever. So they have to do something for the kids. They have to do something nice for people just so they have something to do for the weekend.
Forgot about that. And you went on a hayride as an adult?
The aesthetic is all there, but it's just like when you're actually in the back of this trailer with dead hay. I got hay up my butt crack. Great. This is real fun.
Maybe I need to start a hayride business because it just seems like the biggest scam in the world. Let me go rent a pickup truck and just throw a bunch of people in the back of it and hayride.
And drive somewhere else.
Yeah, drive somewhere else. So hayrides are like a big thing locally. Then there's the farmer's market. Ooh.
Okay, well, that's fun because then you can buy things like, like the local farmer treats that they have for like fall festivities, like pumpkin spice everything. That's fun.
Yeah, I like the treats. I see that, but a literal farmer's market where you're just buying fresh fruits and vegetables. Yeah. Let's take the grocery store outside and charge people to come buy groceries. That's what I see when I see farmer's market because once again, here in West Michigan,
there's nothing to do.
Once again, here in West Michigan, a lot of the farmer's markets booths are just, look at my cucumbers. These are better than Walmart cucumbers because I said so.
But it's all organic. Like, so if you actually want organic things, you can't just go to Meijer or Kroger's or whatever store that's around you and look at something that says organic and trust that shit. No, at a farmer's market, you can go right up there and know that you're getting cage-free eggs and all of these things that are supposed to be organic.
How do I know it's cage-free? It's not like he has a chicken there. I can't interview
the
chicken.
Yes, he does.
I can't hey, Mr. Chicken, how's your life been?
He does. The chickens are right there taking ticket orders for the hayride.
For all you know, if I had a farmer's market booth, I could have went to the grocery store that day, bought some vegetables, and came back and charged you twice as much just because it's a
Done.
farmer's market.
And then slap the organic sticker on it.
That's been another highlight of West Michigan fall festivals.
I mean, there's nothing but farms, and there's nothing for them to do. So they dress it up, make it look nice, and then have the kids come rummage through it. It's fun. It's fun for some.
Ooh, that's even better. Buy these vegetables that every kid in town put their grubby hands on.
I don't know how else to explain this to you. That's all there is in Michigan, just farms and shit.
And then what else happens? Oh, like fruit picking or vegetable picking, like
Yeah.
apple picking, and go to the pumpkin patch
Yeah,
and
that's
all this
fun.
stuff.
For like 5 minutes.
The pumpkin patch I get because you usually don't get to see like a pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess you don't get to see like an apple orchard and stuff either. But like the pumpkin, like that's a big deal for Halloween. Just picking the right pumpkin, because this year I picked a pumpkin for us.
And
I
you
was
were
so hyped.
You were so excited.
Dude, I was in that pumpkin bin at Walmart for like 20 minutes. Shauna went to get vegetables, and Shauna was like, "Are you done yet?" I'm like, "No, I need the right pumpkin," because I wanted one with a big stem, because like the stem was like hair to me. I'm like, "No, I need a pumpkin with anime hair." So I was just like digging through. I was moving, like these are full-size pumpkins too. So I'm like taking them out the box, and customers are like, "What is this guy doing?
Throwing punks at kids. Move!
Move! I want an anime pumpkin."
Mommy, the strange man threw a pumpkin at my head. So?
With that, I get why the pumpkin patch experience could be cool. Because pumpkins are a big part of it. It's like picking out your Christmas tree.
Yeah, exactly. Except you don't have to just have one. You can have 24, like I do
Yes.
every year.
Yes, Shauna is a pumpkin addict. Luckily, we don't carve it so the pumpkins stay good for months. One of them stayed good for so long that we kept it up until we moved.
It was one of those Harry Potter pumpkins, like ones you would see at Hagrid's place.
Yeah,
Anyways.
it was a magical Haggard pumpkin. So the pumpkin patch, I get. That's an exciting experience for kids. But then, like apple picking and stuff like that, it's like, let me pay you to do what you were supposed to do instead of me just going to the grocery store. It's like, you can get apples at the grocery store, but instead, I'm paying the farmer to do work for him for free.
I mean, if you put it like that.
Wow, that's so fun.
Some people like that shit. I don't know. Some people only live in cities and they go to where all the little farmers live so they can live out their dreams. I don't know.
And I thought self-checkout at stores were bullshit. So I'm going to scan my own groceries and you pay people to do this, but I'm going to do it. Shouldn't you be paying me then? But apple picking, fruit picking, that's the same thing. You're paying someone to do work for them for free. Would you guys like to come to my change your own oil business? You give me money and I watch you change your own oil. You bring your own tools, you bring your own oil, but you get to call it Halloween oil change experience.
Oh my God.
I'll even take a picture of you next to a pumpkin when I'm done.
Ow.
Ooh, dude, that's a good business plan. Let's just start a
Man.
bunch of like do-it-yourself things where no matter what it is, as long as they get to take a picture with a pumpkin at the end, it's a Halloween activity. Okay, so since you went on a hayride without me knowing,
You did know. You just forgot.
did you pick apples?
Man, you a little bit too angry about this. Were you jealous that you didn't get to go? Maybe we can just go down the street. There's a tractor right there. I see it right now.
Whatever took
Why don't
me
you
on
just
a-
ask him that we can borrow his tractor
Oh, we
real quick?
should. I would pay to go on a cow ride. There's some cows
I don't
out there,
think you should. Anyways,
but you can't ride a cow?
I don't think you can.
Machine Gun Joe used to have a Russian boar, and he used to ride that
That's
shit
a
around.
boar. That's not a cow.
A boar is more dangerous than a cow. This boar was bigger than the car. He was riding that thing around without a saddle, so why can't I ride a cow?
Are you guys hearing this? This is what we literally talk about, even when the cameras aren't even rolling.
That's growing up in West Michigan, all right?
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you could just ask your neighbor, can I borrow your tractor really quick so I can go on this stupid hayride since you're so jealous? Like, I'm just going to go next door and just ask him real quick.
That's why I'm trying to pick your brain about this Halloween stuff, because you're from the Chicago area.
Yeah.
I spent most of my life here in West Michigan, so this is all I've been exposed to.
I mean, when you're living in Chicago, you kind of have to go out of your way to do these kinds of things. So maybe that is the magic of these hayrides and magic of this, because you don't see it every day. Like how you said, pumpkin patches are a thing because people don't see them just laying around everywhere, except if you go to the grocery store. But it's another thing to be at a pumpkin patch where pumpkins are being grown. And it's another thing to go to like an apple orchard and see apples being in the trees. Like, who has that? Nobody has that.
I got it. I'm going to throw a Halloween party. I'm going to buy a bunch of pumpkins and lay them out on the parking lot. It's going to be called the Inner City Pumpkin Patch.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have Beezy Bot, shout out to Beezy, do some sidewalk drawings and make it look like vines. And you know what? That's kind of a good idea.
See? And then I'm going to pull up my car and charge people to ride in the trunk. I'll leave the trunk open, though. And then we'll call it a hayride. Yeah,
Just drive real slow. And give them like natty lights in the back.
Yeah. I will go around town and pick up everyone's bags of leaves, and it will be a leaf ride.
Have like a leaf blower and just blowing in people's faces.
Oh, you guys like changing leaves? Here you go. Ew. Yo, but this is what people be paying for. You be going on these tractor rides through the burbs, through the country to see leaves and trees. So anyways, if y'all want to come on my leaf ride, let me know, because that business is starting up soon. I'm taking reservations for my Inner City Pumpkin Patch and my leaf ride. Don't knock the hustle, all right?
Tickets are going on sale right after this podcast.
Right, yep, tickets going live.
Well, anyways, back to your question. Us city people, city kids who grew up mostly in the city, we don't get to see trees changing colors. There's no trees in the city, you know? There's nothing like it. So when you go to places that are specifically made for Halloween and for, you know, fall even, it's a treat. And then you get to go back home to all the pollution and skyscrapers and things that don't have nothing to do with Halloween, you know?
Okay, so I get that for city kids then, but I still see so many like burb kids or country kids or just people in the Midwest in general. It's like you're paying money to see what you see all the time.
Okay, so when fall comes around, I'm sure people are tired of seeing green all the time, like for most of the year. So then when the trees start changing colors, it looks cool. It looks magical. Why do you think people go out of the way to see like aurora lights in the sky? It's like you're tired of seeing blue sky all the time. You want to see some lights in the sky for once. Yeah, it's magical. At least for small town people, like that's magical enough. Like that's what we get every year. Like don't take that from us. A lot of us don't leave home, so if the leaves change color and that looks cool to us, let's enjoy it.
Like,
let's go pay money to go see it too.
Let's go
while
pay
we're at
money.
it.
Oh man! All right, so now I have to add a tree that changes colors.
Because think about it like this: you still have to spend money to go travel to see something else in a different country or a different place in the world.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. A bunch of people do go to Japan just to see the cherry blossoms.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, cherry blossoms. But then of course, people pay money to also be in Japan. If I live in LA, I used to live in LA. I would not pay money to come to Michigan and be like, ooh, leaves are changing colors.
Well, back when I knew I was going to move to LA, I was sad that I wouldn't be able to see the foliage anymore because all they have in LA, you know, is like palm trees and cacti and things like that. But like the one thing that I was really, really going to miss leaving the Midwest was not being able to see the trees change color and not being able to feel the change in seasons and things like that, because that's what really brings me joy. Like I love sweater weather. I love it. Out in California, people don't like that so much because it's supposed to be hot. But that was the biggest thing I was really going to miss leaving the Midwest. So when I did go see my dad and I did go on the hayride and I saw like all that cool stuff, like it just made me feel more like it made me feel better. It made me feel refreshed again.
One thing I do like about Halloween time is all the scare mazes. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, besides one that was put on by my college, I've never been to one of these scare mazes that wasn't at Universal Studios. The one Shana and I used to go to was Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood. You can also go to the one in Orlando, Florida, or the one in Tokyo, Japan. Oh, God, I would love to go to the one in Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen videos of that. Ugh. It's wet my undies just thinking about that. Anyways, we don't talk about Halloween in Japan because that shit is just too lit. But all right, anyways. I've never been to one of these local scare mazes in the Midwest. I've seen the Haunted Hayride. Woo! As a kid, I'd be like, how can hay be haunted? Like, I don't care if hay's coming after me. Light it on fire. I didn't get that, you're riding on the back of a tractor and scare actors come get you. I've never been to a haunted corn maze either. Now that I think about it, just being in a cornfield is terrifying. Add a maze to it.
When I was visiting my dad, that was one of the activities we did, but it was very like rated G because it was small, and plus corn mazes really are dangerous. Like if you go too far, you're not gonna know where you are. Especially
because some people like to break their own paths in corn.
Yeah.
I mean, being a kid from West Michigan. Some of my friends live next to a cornfield. That's what we'd do. Just go mess around in the cornfield. Just break stalks of corn and the farmer would never know.
Wow.
And then we get lost. And then someone's got to call the fire department to come find us.
Dumbass kids.
But I've never been to one of these haunted corn mazes either because like a lot of them are just jump scares, you know?
But you have to live in the moment though.
When we finally went to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios where there's production behind it, that changed the whole game for me. Going back to the topic of Shana's birthdays, that was one of the things we did for her birthday because I'm just that awesome and I plan out these amazing things for the love of my life. So we went to Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights, and that shit changed my mind. Of course, mind you, it's Universal Productions.
Universal is always fun no matter what's going on there. What made Halloween Horror Nights fun was the fact that they just went all out. Like the scare actors were amazing. They had different varieties of scare actors, not just, you know, just one class of monster. It was everybody. Like they had people on stilts. They had people just out of control. And I just love how they did it. And I love how they decorated the park for it. Just everything, really.
Yeah, the scare actors weren't just in the themed scare area. They had like a scare zone, for example. So when you're walking between one attraction to the next, there's just random people in the crowd. And that's what I love because there was moments where they would just jump out and just get you, but you weren't expecting them there because you were just in the regular crowd.
They saw me all over the park just screaming my head off because I love to get into it. I'm not going to just stand there and be like, whatever. Like how those stupid people always come to the parks. Like, you know what this is. Stop trying to act like a hard ass. Like, you're here for scares. So act like you're scared. Like, get into it. So that's what I do. And I realized one of the actors was following me throughout the park. And like, I would turn around and then like, he would do something and then just like walk away and act like all nonchalant. Like, oh yeah, I scared her. Let me just walk away. I saw this character just out of the corner of my eye, like everywhere I went, and he would just play it off like, no, I wasn't following you. Dude or girl, I don't know what it was, but they were awesome. And just when I thought I was safe, I was by the bathrooms and they had like a pillar of hay, and I was just like, you know, on my phone, like texting, whatever, taking a break. It was so scary. As I'm trying to like take a selfie with my camera, I see this thing like hovering over the hay ledge, just looking at me. I was like, oh, like I dropped my phone. I fell on the ground. I was just done. I'm like, you know what? You're so good, man. I'm going to go home now. I got my money's worth.
He was committed.
Yeah.
He followed Shana for a good 15 minutes. The way that Universal Studio lays out their Halloween Horror Nights, you're covering a lot of ground. So you're walking from one end of the park to the other. And he kept up with us for 15, 20 minutes-ish. So he covered some ground with us too. And like some of us saw him and we're like, oh, he's going to get Shana. Because we saw him mess with her earlier. He followed her up to the last minute till he got his final scare and scared the shit out of her. And he's like, okay, I'm good. My job here is done. Wipes his hands, walks away.
He clocks out work, just gets on the tram, goes home.
And that's what was amazing about that because the scare actors are amongst the crowd too. And sometimes you see them and you think they're there just for aesthetics and stuff, but some of them do take the time to scare you. And that's part of their job too.
That person was awesome.
What made Halloween Horror Nights so fun for me were the themes. Every scare maze had a theme from a movie or a TV show that we all knew. That made it a little more fun for me because, you know, I'm like a film guy. So I appreciate the details. When it came to a series I really liked, it made it even better because it was more than just jump scares.
Yeah.
One of our favorites was what? Insidious? Insidious doesn't really have a main villain. It's not like Freddy Krueger's coming to get you. A movie series like Insidious just has a theme, but they deliver it so well. If y'all have never seen Insidious, it's pretty much a series about lucid dreaming or astral projection. It's like when your spirit leaves your body and you still see your physical body, but now you're in like the spirit world. Anyways, one of the best modern horror series of all times, in our opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Still scares us every time we watch it. Universal Studios had a scare maze themed after that one year. That shit was so scary, especially being a fan. They immerse you in that universe. course, you're watching these movies and you're like, oh my God, if I was really there, it would scare the shit out of me.
Right.
And they just did it so well. Like all the little themes and just the costumes and the characters. So it was more than just someone jumping out going, ugh,
Right.
I'm a Party City vampire. No, you saw creepy images you remember from the movie, sound bites, because Universal has the license to use the sound bites. What was the moment that scared you the most in that Insidious house?
It was 2. I gotta say 2. I fell on the ground. Like when I get when I get into these things, like I fall on the ground out of just pure fright. It was the part where one of the ghosts from the movie, she's like berating her son and just yelling at him. But then like her iconic thing that she says is, "Don't you dare!" And then she's like berating her son, like talking to her son, and I'm like walking through the maze, like just watching her do it. And she turns around and goes, "Don't you dare!" Like it just like freaked me the hell out because she's like looking right at you at that point. It's like, dang, they really did that shit. And the other part that scared me the most was the big demon or thing behind the Insidious movie, or one of the big main scares of the movie is this person that liked to dress as a woman. Like she wore like this black wedding dress with a veil, and she's supposed to be like this parasite that like attaches onto you in your dreams and like follows you and whatever. So she's like the main like ghost scare in the movie. Her thing is you see her in this mirror, and I passed by, I think that was like the very last scare, you pass by this mirror and you kind of see her like in the mirror, and then you get closer. Like the thing is they want you to get closer to it. So I get closer to it, and it's like getting like bigger and bigger, and it's coming more and more at you. And then she goes, "Ah!" Like just screams at your face. And dude, I had it. I ran straight out of that place like no other. I was like, "Oh my God, that was so cool!" It scared the shit out of me though.
Yeah, the Black Bride.
The Black Bride, yeah.
Yeah, because you think there's an actual mirror.
Yeah.
But then when you get close, the mirror slides away, and the bride actually comes out.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it is. And combine that with the sound effects on cue. So it's not just someone going, "Ugh." Like these actors have it down to so they know the timing. Like when Shana was saying the woman that says, "Don't you dare," and slaps the shit out of her son. When she says, "Don't you dare," it's not coming out of her mouth. It's coming out like the big speakers too. So you hear it like you hear it in the movies. And then the jewel on that is when you leave the maze, there's these side characters from the movie that are like ghost hunters.
Yeah.
And then when you leave the maze, they talk to you and you're like, "Oh shit, it's y'all.
It's homeboys.
It's you two guys." And like that wasn't expected because you get that last scare and you're like, "Oh my God, oh my God." And you're just freaking out. And then you see these two side characters. Look at the detail. They even included these guys.
So much detail, that maze. It was so awesome. Like Renji was saying, it's all about the audio. Like for me, like I could see something and be scared, but when you pair with the audio, that's what drives it all home. Like the audio, man. Like, it was so scary. There's a sound effect in the Insidious movie collection where it's like a high-pitched fiddle or high-pitched violin. It's like, like they kept playing that, and it was like my heart was just sinking the entire time. Like I hate that sound so much, but it scares me so bad.
I don't think I can go back to doing like a corn maze in West Michigan.
Nah, there's nothing like this.
Yeah, especially because I'm invested in the series. Insidious is one of my favorite series in the horror genre of modern times. And it just made it so much better because they got the production value. So now it makes me want to not do anything else. So that's why we're all so butthurt. We're like, man, Halloween Horror Nights is going on right now.
I know. Like I would give anything to go see it.
I know. Like it's like we still got time. It's October. It's even more expensive now because we usually go during September when it's like cheaper. But even at the full price of like 100 something, it's so worth it.
Hey, any of y'all still working out there in California or even Florida, hit us up because your girl and your boy want to come through, and you know we fainting over here, man. If you want to give us some comp badges or something, you know.
Y'all working at Universal got the comp badges, hook them up.
I don't care. Like I'll go to Florida. I'll go all the way to Florida. I don't give a shit. Like I will slide through. I don't even care.
Definitely worth it.
It is. There was one other maze at Halloween Horror Nights that stuck out to me, and that was Stranger Things, of course. Like, I gotta give my girl 11 props, you know? So there was this one part, you know, like, the whole maze was, you know, jump scares and everything, and it was really well done. The maze got to a point where you're seeing 11. She's, like, stopping the big monster, and, like, they made it all look real, because they made, like a plaster or, like, one of those, like, wax figures of her, like, using her powers on a monster. And I'm, like, egging her on, like, go 11, go. And then like I'm just in the room still, like not even paying attention. And then like a jump scare comes at me, like an actor comes at me and was like trying to scare me so like he can move me along, but that shit scared the crap out of me. I wasn't expecting it. So I'm like, giving 11 props. And he's like, I'm like, no, I just ran out of there so fast.
Stranger Things one was really good as well.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Universal switches out the themes, but sometimes I'm just like, can y'all bring that back?
A lot of these themes and these stories, like they're gonna run out of the good ones. There's always gonna be like, the stupid, ghost kill somebody kind of thing. But there's nothing like Stranger Things. There's nothing like Insidious. There's nothing like, I don't know if they did Conjuring yet, if that's this year or not, but there's nothing like Conjuring series, for example. So they could cycle it back in at some point.
Yeah, they got to rotate them because like Six Flags does a horror nights. And
yeah.
They get some licenses and...
What do they call the Six Flags one? Fright Night or...
Fright Night at Six Flags or something.
I had never done... I had always wanted to do that one, but I just never got around to it.
Because we also go to Universal.
I mean, in my adult times, but when I was younger, I've always wanted to do that one, but I was always too young and my parents and whoever was watching me didn't want to do it because they were scared, but...
Oh, we could go to a Fright Nights here in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Six Flags is nearby.
The idea guy.
Yeah, we could go to a Fright Nights if they do it here.
Oh my God, I would.
We've just been so spoiled by Universal Studios because we live in LA and we had season passes, so it wasn't that big of a deal. You still got to buy a separate ticket for Halloween Horror Nights, but it made it easier, and we'll get into that later.
The one scare maze that they have up year round is the Walking Dead maze. Everyone's seen Walking Dead by now. It's zombies, and they have that as a year-round attraction. It's one of the, I guess, rides of the theme park. And you go in, it's just like a scare maze. You go in, it's like the Walking Dead aesthetic. Do not enter, dead inside, signs everywhere, and like on the door, there's zombies everywhere. But I don't care like how many times I've been to that one, I get scared every single time. Every single time. They let you in with like people behind you and everything like that. And I'm the only one who's like terrified the entire time. And then I had this one incident where somebody's like next to me, he's like, why are you so scared? It's just zombies. I'm like, just zombies? Are you serious right now?
That Walking Dead one is a permanent ride at Universal, but like Shana said, it's so good.
It's good.
It gets you every time. If you're a Walking Dead fan, you'll recognize this from one of the earlier seasons where you go into the hospital.
Yeah, there you go.
The backdrop is so detailed and it's so on point with the series. So if you're a fan, you'll start to recognize things from the hospital scene, like the signs and the doors that say "Do not open," "Dead inside," but the door pushes open and zombie hands come out. And then when they finally let you in the maze, it's so good. Even though it's zombies, I talk shit like, are zombies even scary anymore? Walking Dead kind of ruined the fear of zombies because they show you how to get around a zombie apocalypse.
There's always going to be a line, but luckily for this, you can do the skip the line pass, but I would say wait in line because as you're waiting in line, as you're getting deeper and deeper into the hospital, you are still getting your scares. You're still enjoying the aesthetics around you. They just did this so well, and I loved it.
I would say if you have a pass to Universal or you have a ticket to go to Universal during the day, do it during your day trip. You don't have to waste your Halloween Horror Nights time on it. It's still going to be there during the day. It's there all year round. A lot of people don't know that, so they wait in the long Halloween Horror Nights line for it when you can just come back during the day and just breeze right through it.
Oh, yeah.
There's usually not a line during the day because they get you through pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, because there's always going to be lines for other things that people want to see. Like they're distracted by the other like Halloween Horror Nights things, but you can just breeze right through just to get like warmed up, All
right, now that we've talked about some of our favorite themes from Halloween Horror Nights, let's talk about what made our experience so awesome or what was bad about some of our experiences. This will kind of carry through to any haunted maze, any scare thing you do. Number one, it's about who you go with.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta go with people that want to be scared.
We went with this person. We'll call him Charles for the sake of this video. It was one of my birthdays, and I wanted to have a bigger group because usually it's just me and Renji. We'll just go and like have a good time. I had my girlfriends there. I had this guy Charles, and he brought a friend. So we had a decent sized group this year. When I go to these things, I want to get my money's worth. I want to get my experience worth. Like I'm gonna get into it. So if I'm supposed to be scared, I'm gonna be scared as hell. If I'm supposed to be mad, I'm gonna be mad as hell. Like that's just me. I'm with my group. We're going through the mazes. I'm screaming. I'm running. I'm falling on the ground, being all extra. And Charles just going through these mazes, just like a tough guy. Like those guys I mentioned earlier who are just like, oh, this isn't so scary, or this isn't this, and like, why would you go to a themed place like this and just on purpose act like you have an attitude or act like you're not supposed to be scared? You're not supposed to enjoy your time here. I don't get that.
Why did you spend $85 to not be scared? It got on my nerves because he was one of my coworker friends. The whole time he was just trying to be a tough guy, but yet he tried to scare people like, like, bro, we paid $80 for these professional scare actors to scare us.
Yeah.
We don't need you to be like,
Right.
Like he was really just like slapping our shoulders. Like, dude, can you stop slapping my shoulder? You're annoying the shit out of me.
Right.
Needless to say, we didn't invite him back the next year. It's all about who you bring with you. Everyone else was into it.
Right.
Everyone else was like grabbing each other's shoulders and crawling through there. But yet here's Charles, Mr. Tough Guy. Like
before that, he was all acting like he was excited and he wanted to be there and he loved scary things and da-da-da. But as soon as he got there, he pretty much just ruined it for my whole group.
he begged me to bring him along in the group. The whole year, he told me about how he's always wanted to go to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
And to make matters worse, at some point in the night, he just didn't get along with my friends, with my girlfriends. I had to pull him aside to ask him, like, what is your problem? It's Halloween, it's my birthday, it's all of these great things wrapped into one, and I invited you here. Why are you purposely trying to have a bad time? Yeah, I kind of just made him go and do his own thing. I'm like, can you just not so we can enjoy the rest of our night?
You got to bring the right people.
Yeah.
They also have to be on time. Even if you buy the skip the line passes, some of these mazes take forever to get to. And people also have to have the endurance to last through, because there's times where people are just like, oh, I'm tired. Yo, we paid $80 for this shit. We moving on.
You have to walk the entire park, but you also have to walk where they opened up certain sections that were closed off to like walking.
They turned the back lot into some of the Halloween Horror Night scares. You have to walk miles.
Usually you're on the tram riding around these areas, but this is like they just like let you like run loose. It's a really good time, but you have to wear like sneakers and you got to be comfortable because you're going to be there for a while.
And it's cool if y'all need to take breaks, but just be ready for it.
Yeah.
You got to get people that will follow the plan. It's already hard enough to get through the mazes and not have to wait in line. You don't need people to be like, well, I want to go to this one. Well, that one's like all the way on the other side of the park. Mm-hmm. Let's just go to them in order. Mm-hmm. People within our group, we had an argument of like, well, I don't care about The Exorcist. You paid $80. Go to all these damn mazes. The way Universal Hollywood is laid out, there's some things upstairs and there's some things downstairs. The best way to do it is do one floor at a time.
We're not talking about a few stairs. We're talking about like Universal Hollywood is carved into pretty much the side of a mountain. So you have to, you're starting at the top of a mountain. Okay, imagine this. And then you're going downstairs and they have escalators, of course, but you're going all the way down a mountain. So you're either upstairs or you're downstairs. And that's how you spend your time. But you can go back upstairs when it's time to do that.
Even if you take the escalator, it's like a 10-minute journey.
Yeah.
One way or the other. So if you plan it out, you do one level, make your way up to the other level. Mm-hmm. Long story short, just go in a straight line. Hit the mazes as they come. You may not care about Ash versus the Evil Dead, but guess what? You paid $80 to be there. So just enjoy it and keep it moving.
Half the stuff that I saw, I didn't want to see either. Like, I didn't know anything about a lot of that stuff that was there, but I just went to go see it because I did spend money to be at that place. I wanted to see it and experience and get my money's worth, first of all. But second of all, it's like you're there to have a good time. You're there to see these themes and these things that are going on because it's a part of the experience.
That's why we say get people willing to follow a plan. So the first year, we're kind of loosey-goosey about it, but the next year, we were on that shit.
Yeah.
And we told people, this is what we're doing. If y'all don't want to follow along, then stay home.
And we had a plan.
Yeah,
we had the plan, man.
It was our first year, so we just let it be what it was, and we didn't even see all the mazes that year. But the second year, we saw them all with time to spare.
We were on point. We were punctual. We were there. We were right at the start, and we just trickled down. We just knocked everything out. Got a few scares in on like the way up to things. It was money well spent.
Yeah, first mistake, do not just buy the general admission pass for Halloween Horror Nights. What that means is if you buy a general admission pass, is you have to wait at the front gate for them to let everyone out the park and then let you guys back in just for Halloween Horror Nights. They offered you something called the day and night pass, where you pretty much could see the rest of Universal Studios before they opened up Halloween Horror Nights, but they only let you in for like 3 hours before Halloween Horror Nights started. Told all our friends, yo, it is definitely worth paying the extra money. Mess around at Universal for a couple hours and then get ready for Halloween Horror Nights. Nobody listened to us, their problem. Shana and I were already there, because we had the pass. Because we had our Universal Pass, the most important thing though, we got to get in line for the very first maze before the gates opened. What that meant was we got to breeze through the first couple mazes. Why? Because the first mazes were downstairs. So when general admission opened, people were upstairs at the main gate trying to get in, scanning their tickets. So they had at least 20-minute journey from the gate to the escalators downstairs to get in line. We were already in line. So when they're like, Halloween Horror Night starts at 6 p.m., we were already in line. We breezed through the first, 3-4 mazes with no wait time. We got done with one, went to the next one, no wait line. We cleared the bottom floor without waiting more than 5 minutes. And that's why we encouraged our friends, pay the extra $30 for the day pass.
We had a group of friends that wanted to join us that year. We told them the whole spiel. We're like, dude, do this and you'll be fine. Didn't want to listen. By the time they rolled up, because I'm texting them like, where are you guys? Like, you're missing out. There's nobody here, like literally nobody here. And they're like, we're still in the parking lot and we're still this like, oh. By the time they actually got back up to us, we had cleared the entire bottom floor. Like, we had seen everything.
Yeah, we saw half the mazes before they even scanned their ticket to come inside.
And we told them, we're like, hey, this is the hack. Do it. This is what you got to do. If you want to see everything and do everything. But they were also the type of people that were just like nonchalant and didn't really care. Like, they spend money to do things that they want to do all the time. So they really didn't care. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for anybody. I'm going to see what I want to see. And if y'all want to just dick around and do the little whatevers and, just see that and be good, then I'm good.
You know what, guys? Since y'all got here late, we're doing the top floor stuff. So we made them do all the things we didn't do yet.
Yeah.
So we did all the top floor before we even began to go back downstairs.
And the lines were just astronomically long.
But that's the price you pay for not following the plans. We're like, dude, we were here last year. We know how this works.
And then we jet set it all the way downstairs first because everyone else is going to get distracted by what's upstairs.
Yeah.
So you get to see everything and then still see things upstairs later on.
Yeah, because what they do is they do open up a few rides. They open up like the Harry Potter land. They open up the Mummy. And they open up a few rides just to distract you from the mazes, just to keep people spread out.
Yeah.
But we knew the game.
Yeah.
Because people that don't go to Universal, they're going to take advantage of their Halloween Horror Nights pass. They're like, ooh, I can ride the Simpsons ride. And you want to be like, bitch, no.
Even downstairs, there's things like the Mummy thing that's still open, the Mummy movies. That one's a great one. But that one's open downstairs, too. It's a really good deal. Like, you pay a lot because they still open up the other rides for you.
Yeah. But don't get distracted.
Don't get distracted.
Don't get distracted by the regular rides. Go to the Halloween Horror Nights shit first, then go to the regular rides because those are there all year round.
Man, you making me want to go.
know.
I'm fiending. Oh my God, this is torture. My favorite time of year. You're actually going to be home because we're not doing Youmacon this year.
Yes, we canceled Youmacon this year. I'm sorry if y'all was looking forward to us being at Youmacon, but long story short, we're only attending cons for business purposes. And going to Youmacon right now, just the business didn't work out for us. So we're going to pull out.
Long story short, we just want to go to Universal. You know, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, but that is a good transition, though. We are pulling out of Youmacon because the business isn't right. We're not attending cons just for fun anymore. Shana and I are throwing a party once again in the Chicago area in Hoffman Estates. If you're not familiar with Hoffman Estates, it's like 5 minutes from the Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg. And a lot of y'all weebs go to Schaumburg on a weekly basis. A lot of y'all go to Mitsuya, Japanese market, and Hoffman Estates is only 10 minutes from there. So y'all familiar with the area. Shana and I are hosting and organizing a Halloween cosplay party.
Yep.
Or on Facebook, it's called a Cosplay Halloween Party. You should put the link below. I think I forgot to do it last week. Cosplay Halloween Party hosted by FanService Renji, Shana, Mostella on Panic Escape Rooms in Hoffman Estates. The party is on Friday, October 22nd.
You guys are out in the Chicago area and you want to support us, if you want to support this podcast, definitely come through. You guys are going to have a great time. We always have an amazing time at Panic Escape Room on top of that. So come out. Please support us. Please be there. Just show your lovely faces. We would love to see you. We're going to have a costume contest. We're going to play some Squid Games. I'm sure y'all seen that on Netflix already. So we about to be on that level. So definitely come through and see your girl and your boy.
Yeah, we got some great sponsors giving out some great prizes. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a food truck sponsored by Savory Crust. We got a lot of things planned for this party. We got a photo booth happening. So if you want to get your little spoopy pictures on, we're going to have music. We're going to have drinks. Parking is free. We got this venue all night. So we good to go. And I know a lot of y'all are on the fence about going to Youmacon or AWA. But if y'all in Chicago, y'all in Indiana, Wisconsin, just come on through.
And not to mention the escape rooms. If you guys are into escape rooms, there's plenty of them at Panic Escape Room. So you'll be helping their business out as well. Just come through.
Yeah.
Just come through.
The last party we had, a lot of our peers, this was their first time trying an escape room and they loved it.
Yeah.
And because it is my event, y'all get a special discount where you save $10. So you will not get to experience an escape room any cheaper than at my event because y'all get that special Renji discount.
Speaking of supporting this podcast, we are opening our very first Etsy store. During the time of this filming, the name of our store is still to be determined. If you can't make it to the party for some reason, check out our Etsy store. The link will be below where you can check that out. We're doing some fandom 3D prints of things that you all know and love. Things from Harry Potter, things from Star Wars, things from even Squid Game even. We got you with the fandoms.
All the items will be hand-painted by Shana or myself, unless noted. We're trying to expand what we're doing. A lot of you have been asking, how can you support us? Obviously, not everyone wants OnlyFans lewds. Not everyone wants prints. So the holiday season is coming up. So if y'all want some gifts for Christmas, even though we don't talk about that right now because it's October, we also got some spooky 3D print decorations coming up. Definitely, if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the link below to the Etsy store. By the time this releases, we will definitely have a name. So make sure y'all check it out if you want to support us. All right, Josh, get in that time where we got to wrap this up. I love how we smoothly transition to the self-promotion. So good job, Shana. Good job, Shana.
Yes.
Good job, Renji. Usually we're like, wait, time to promote, but it just worked out. So yeah, make sure y'all support us and check that out.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm FanService Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
See you guys next week.
Bye.